Gravity Falls, a sleepy, mysterious town located in Roadkill County in eastern Oregon, and also, coincidentally, the name of one of the most popular Disney animated television shows to date. Or maybe it's the most popular, I don't know. Gravity Falls still stands as one of the most unique cases of a Disney show ever. The show isn't just iconic in every way, it's funny, it's smart, it's mature, and it's not afraid to unapologetically get weird. I'm not sure if I'll ever live to see a show like it airing again, and there's one thing that has always allowed Gravity Falls to hold such an impressive title: its community. The show ran from 2012 to 2016, otherwise known to me as the golden age of the weird kid internet. Tumblr sexy men, Atomatics, ship A&Vs, alternate universes, DashCon, all that good stuff. I like your shoelaces, by the way. Because of the time of its airing, Gravity Falls quickly created one of the most popular fandoms at the time, especially with the introduction of the show's most unique and popular character, Bill Cipher. The insane popularity of this stupid triangle was unexpected and horrific, and because Bill was a sassy, chaotic villain with a top hat and a bow tie, you can bet your bottom dollar that people wanted to the shit out of this triangle, leading to the creation of a multitude of humanized Bill Cipher designs. But we aren't here to talk about that, as much as I would love to rip this part of the Gravity Falls fandom wide open and investigate its insides. I would like to talk about a much more appropriate aspect of the community. Gravity Falls as a show was undoubtedly about one thing above all else: mystery. The series made it abundantly clear since the beginning that it revolved around uncovering the mysterious secrets surrounding the town of Gravity Falls. And what made watching the show on air so damn fun was the fact that, more often than not, we got to experience and solve these mysteries alongside Dipper and Mabel, the show's pair of sibling protagonists. The show emphasized the importance of the writings of an elusive author who documented their work within a journal discovered by the protagonists in the very first episode, and the identity of this author would remain a highly theorized around mystery for 3/4 of the show's runtime.
Who wrote the journals?
People would theorize like crazy. Theories played an incredibly important part in making the show so special. An entire community of people would band together in an attempt to solve the unsolvable. Sounds familiar. The show's creator, Alex Hirsch, was very much in touch with the fandom, and when the show came to a close in early 2016, he knew his work wasn't finished. And so he brought upon himself a massive question: what's more mysterious than mystery? While many people might not immediately know the answer to such a question, I'm certain that you do, because you read the title. But you're also a huge nerd. Yes, the only thing more mystery than mystery is an alternate reality game. An alternate reality game, commonly abbreviated as an ARG, is a type of interactive storytelling often using transmedia storytelling elements, and relies on a community of people to solve mysteries and puzzles to unravel an overarching plotline or achieve an end goal. An ARG is basically any story that could be portrayed as a work of non-fiction, but isn't. Think Petscop, Blair Witch Project, Shipwreck 64, stuff of that scope. ARGs are often more popular and successful the more interactive and engaging they are with a broader audience, relying on a community of people to band together and solve mysteries to progress an unfolding story. It's what brings so many communities together. I mean, take a look at some of the more popular fandoms to sprout from the past decade, especially those in the horror genre. People love a good mystery, a good theory, and they especially love it when mysteries are solved through collaborative means. As such, it only made sense to go in this direction for a show entirely based around solving mysteries that already had a huge fandom presence all around the world, and Alex Hirsch would push out one final mystery to pay tribute to the millions of people who adored his creations. 10 years later, and it seems we still haven't seen anything quite like the mystery to end all mysteries known as the Cipher Hunt. But the last thing anyone who is around for the groundbreaking Gravity Falls global scavenger hunt could have ever expected was the sudden, massive resurgence of not only the fandom, but also the appearance of brand new mysteries waiting to be solved. And seeing as it is now
winter, the most festive of seasons, and the one this video was absolutely supposed to release in.
My favorite season, and also the best season for a good old-fashioned spooky mystery, why don't we sit back, relax, and look back at the biggest mysteries Gravity Falls had, and maybe still has to offer. This, my friends, is how Gravity Falls perfected the alternate reality game. If you're watching this right when it releases, I'm going to be hosting a charity event on January 30th through February 2nd to raise funds for the LA wildfire relief. Friends and family of mine have been directly impacted by the recent fires in California, and I know many of you likely have been affected yourself or know someone who has been. I want to do my part and raise as much as physically possible, and I'm bringing a bunch of my friends with me. To start things off on the 30th, me, Pastra, Draxum, Dags, and Mamarine will be streaming Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 and giving away codes for the game. So I know you won't want to miss that if you were there last year. Tons of other stuff will be revealed if we reach certain goals, like a brand new project from Terran, some FNAF movie game teasers, Shipwrecked 64's HIO9 teasers, and maybe even a character, ooh. And some more super secret fun stuff as well. You can also buy some things, all of the profits of which will go directly to charity, like these super cool quinnamon keychain pre-orders, and if you don't have the money, we'll also be giving away plenty of cool trinkets too, like FNAF merch and King Magnifico Funko Pops signed by me. You want these, don't you? You want these taking up your closet storage? If you're interested in learning more, check my community tab or the link in the description. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you there. Gravity Falls came to an end in February of 2016, with a 3-part special, a face-off against the series' main antagonist, Bill Cipher. At the very end of the final episode of the series, a short clip is played depicting what appeared to be a real-life Bill Cipher statue, located somewhere in the woods. Aside from this clip, the only other message within this episode that pointed towards any kind of treasure hunt was a message that, once decoded, read, "Hidden deep within the woods, a buried treasure waits. Secrets lost and statues found beyond the rusty gates." Fans were incredibly excited, to say the least. These two signs very clearly pointed towards the implication that this Bill statue was very much real and ready to be found. Regardless, neither Alex Hirsch nor anyone on the Gravity Falls team would comment on the existence of the statue for months to come, leaving the fan base confused until July 20th of 2016, when Alex Hirsch would tweet out 3 simple words. "Are you ready?" 3 minutes later, Alex would tweet yet again. This tweet reading, "Let the games begin. Hashtag FLSKHUKXQW." A message that translated to Cipher Hunt after shifting the text 3 letters back. The tweet was also accompanied by an image, acting as a call to action. The image depicted an illustration of the Bill Cipher statue, as well as a plethora of different codes, some obvious, some more difficult to notice. This tweet would signify the official beginning of what is known now as the Cipher Hunt, the worldwide search for the real-life Bill Cipher. The Cipher Hunt would begin with a series of rules to ensure that things went smoothly. These 4 rules would read as follows. 1. This is an unofficial fan tribute treasure hunt made just by Alex Hirsch. It has no affiliation with any company. 2. No trespassing/vandalism. Everything is in a public place. Be respectful of your surroundings. Don't be a dummy. 3. Be careful. You search at your own risk. Like Pokemon Go, keep an eye out for Gyarados. And 4. If you encounter Bill, whatever you do, don't shake his hand. The objective of the hunt was made obvious. Find Bill Cipher. But where would people start looking? Well, the image posted by Alex had the answer in plain sight. The 2 strands of text are simply mysterious phrases reading, "The urban legend has come true. Cipher's statue is calling you. The secret map is in your hand to trace the clues across the land." And, don't forget it's all for pleasure, the hunt itself is the real treasure, but a prize awaits the first one there. Be safe, be smart, and of course, beware. Within this text, certain letters are written in red. Looking through these letters after translating reveals that they spell out Russia, hinting at the location of the first clue. Within this image was also images that seemed to depict diagrams of an interior. Diagrams that would be recognized in relation to the Kazan Cathedral in St. Petersburg. The diagram in the middle right revealed where the clue was, and soon it was found. It seems that the Twitter account that posted this finding has since privated or rebranded, so I don't have access to the actual tweet announcing the discovery. I do, however, have Alex Hirsch quote retweeting it, so hey, there you go. The text that was found on the note was another cipher, one that translates to "Finally, the hunt can begin, so switch your rubles out for yen. Turn left where you're at the shrine's door. When you reach the statue, turn left once more. In the leftmost corner, in the back, is the info that you lack. A sword and a crescent mark the clue. Cipher's statue is calling you." Judging by the mention of shrines and yen, people immediately connected the dots and discovered that the next clue resided somewhere in Japan. Finding the exact location would appear to be rather difficult, that is until people started searching through Alex's Twitter account, where back in February of 2016, Hirsch posted photos of him and his at-the-time partner, Dana Terrace, at a shrine in Tokyo, including a picture of a drawing he left on an ema, a small wooden plaque used for writing prayers or wishes. This shrine appeared to be the Kanda Shrine located in Chiyoda, Tokyo, and as such, a fan in Japan, Nyan-kun 1, quickly arrived at the shrine and followed the instructions of the previous clue. There they found another ema, this one accompanied by a crescent moon and sword, as they were mentioned in the clue. Written on the ema is yet another message, to be translated to, "Consider in your quest for truth, the hunter of the fountain of youth. 400 before his name is written, outside the gates is where it's hidden. Find what's lost to pass the test, from a shrine that's east to a shrine that's west." This clue was solved with a little bit more critical thinking rather than just deciphering a code. The clues eventually led to 400 Ponce de Leon Avenue, northeast, in Atlanta, Georgia, as the Hunter of the Fountain of Youth refers to the Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon. A missing poster for Waddles the Pig, a character from Gravity Falls, was found at this location. However, it was very water damaged. Nevertheless, text could very faintly be read, text that translated to, "Across from the stones of the springs, you'll find some peculiar things. Tied to a root is a lone pink key. Dig to find what waits for thee." The poster also featured a phone number that, once called, played a backwards audio message from Grunkle Stan.
Hello, it's Grunkle Stan, and I have a riddle for you. What has 2 legs during the day, 4 legs during the night, and it's red and white? I don't know. I'm no good at these riddles. It's at Ochre Court, all right? The next clue, it's at Ochre Court. It's like a big old building in Rhode Island, and you go up some stairs, and there's gonna be a bunch of pictures of nuns on the wall. You gotta look behind one of the nun pictures. Sister Mary Hilda Miley, real grouch, that nun. Lift up the picture, you find the clue behind the nun, all right? That's the whole thing. Be careful with the picture. Don't break it. I don't want you to get anyone in trouble. All right? You don't want Grunkle Stan going to jail. Anyway, go to the place, look behind the nun, find the thing, and always look out for mysteries.
The audio message is a bit grainy, but is still able to be made out. Stan informs the players that the next clue is at Ochre Court, a big old building in Rhode Island. He instructed players on where to go, telling them to look behind a photo of a nun to find the clue. The clue was supposed to be found in the Ochre Court building of Salve Regina University in Rhode Island, specifically behind an image of Sister Mary Hilda Miley. However, the university accidentally got rid of the clue prior to the Cipher Hunt, so Alex tweeted out that he would release a replacement clue at 12:30 PST on July 21st. In the meantime, another Twitter account related to Gravity Falls would make some cryptic tweets relating to the hunt, the first of which reading, "The nuns have won, but the battle's not lost. We are still far from done. Find the pink key or pay the cost." The account claimed that this was an old clue that people forgot to solve. The other clue read as, "When one branch closes, another path may still be open. Return to what was and try again, while awaiting something new." Well, this one doesn't rhyme, that's not fun. Meanwhile, Alex released the replacement clue, which was simply tweeting out the phone number from the poster and saying to leave a message. The phone number once again plays a message from Grunkle Stan.
"A man whose first name is his last, a statue honoring his past. Right behind him, by the sign of his park, a golden head shows light in the dark." I don't know what that means. Glad I don't have to go out there and figure this out. Wonder what's on TV.
The clue pointed towards the statue of Griffith J. Griffith, a man whose first name is his last, at Griffith Park in Los Angeles. Twitter user Ramble Wheels would go to the sign and retrieve a small golden replica of Grunkle Stan's head. Within the head was a UV light and a piece of paper that revealed a message after the light was shown on it. The person who found this clue traced over the invisible ink writing and decoded the message that reads as follows: 50 plus 50, that's the city. From one angle, it's quite pretty. You'll find find a bow tie and one eye. At his head is rectangle, stones by stairs atop the top right angle. The stone with the UV swirl can glow. Find the black pouch that's right below. 50 plus 50 is obviously 100, leading people to believe that the next clue was in the nearby town of Century City. The clue was indeed here, at a park between the Century Plaza Towers and the Creative Artists Agency building. This park was actually trimmed into the shape of the Eye of Providence, while these two triangular buildings looked suspiciously like a bow tie. Here, fans would meet with Alex Hirsch's twin sister Ariel, as well as Jason Ritter, the voice actor for Dipper, and track down the black pouch mentioned in the clue. Within the pouch was a USB stick that had an image of Bill on it. The stick contained an audio file, which is quite amusing, actually. I'll just let this play out.
Howdy, treasure hunters. Grunkle Stan here to tell you about the next clue. Whoa! Who are you?
It is me, Sister Mary Hilda Miley, and I decree that you shall never find the treasure.
Some kind of ghost has flown into the mystery shack here. She's got a ruler in her ghost hand. Ow! Hey!
I am the spirit of seriousness. I hate anything fun. Carbonated beverages, boys and girls holding hands at school dances, and most of all, I hate treasure hunts. Also Knuckles.
Ow! Zeus, get the vacuum cleaner.
Yes, sir, Mr. Pines.
No, my one weakness, a creative solution. I'll be back. You'll never find the treasure!
Good job, Zeus. Have a chicken nugget.
To me, this is a raise.
All right, kids. The next clue is a kind of tricky one. You see, this is one that can only be found by someone who is currently in the building it is hidden in. That's right. I'm looking for students at the California State Summer School of the Arts. Only CISA students can find this clue. I don't want anybody else going to CISA, all right? You're not allowed in. Only students there are allowed in. Students, scour the sub-level. You'll know it when you see it. And watch out for Sister Miley's ghost! Seriously.
No, I did not add the Mario music, it was there. Anyways, as Stan explained, the next clue was within the California State Summer School of the Arts, and only students at the school were able to find the clue. DJ Russell Red on Twitter would tweet out an image of Bill Cipher graffiti in the campus's sub-level. The graffiti was theorized to be coordinates, and once decoded using a hexadecimal to decipher cipher, hexadecimal to decimal cipher. No, I do not know what this means, nor will I attempt to explain it to you. Apparently, I also don't know how to pronounce it, even though decimal is a very easy word to pronounce. Anyways, this cipher revealed the coordinates of Piedmont, California. Piedmont. Why am I so bad at pronouncing things today? Alex's hometown, as well as the hometown of Dipper and Mabel. The message decoded on Waddles' poster also led towards this location, and fans soon set out to Piedmont Park, where they spent 2 hours searching the woods. Alex decided to put an end to their suffering by posting a map to hopefully lead them in the right direction. After posting the map, these fans quickly found the previously mentioned pink key tied to a stump, a small chest, and a cryptex that required a 5-letter code to open. This code turned out to be Pines, a code found by taking the numbers above the statue in the original Bill Cipher image Alex tweeted. Opening the cryptex revealed an exact location for the next clue, being a piece of paper simply reading LA has the clue you want, 1825N Vermont, 27128, the box for thee, don't be puzzled, use the key. Well, thanks for being straightforward with us this time around. The location led to a post office, with the number provided being the box fans were supposed to open. The legendary holder of the key would have to travel to this location, and in the meantime, fans excitedly met outside the post office, making memories as they waited for the elusive key holder. Jason Ritter once again was there, as well as Jeffrey Rao, one of the show's writers, and Scott Jones, the creator of official Gravity Falls puppet shorts. These three hung out with the fans as they waited, and Jeffrey even gave out copies of a yet-to-release Gravity Falls book. Scott Jones also brought some of the puppets used in his shorts. This is really one of the most wholesome moments in this entire hunt, showcasing the extent of just how unifying of an experience this all was. The key holder took about 8 hours to drive all the way from Piedmont to LA, which is some damn crazy dedication. Think of the gas prices. Regardless, when the key finally arrived, the box opened to reveal the 8th clue, a literal puzzle concealed sealed in a plastic bag, along with an envelope with the drawing of Bill that once deciphered read, "I hope you like puzzles," and contained 37 Stan Bucks, a fake currency from the show, with the word Philbrick written on them with invisible ink. Philbrick refers to the name of Philbrick Pines, the father of Stan. The puzzle within the box was 2,000 pieces and very confusing. The image was primarily yellow, meaning most of the puzzle solving was made up of trial and error, putting random pieces together and praying they fit. The group brought the puzzle to a nearby diner known as House of Pies and stayed until the place closed, which, if Google is to be trusted, would be at 2 to 3 a.m. Jesus. Even then, they couldn't finish the puzzle, and a smaller group took the puzzle to someone's house to work on it through the night. It took 2 days to produce even a slight result. 2 days in which the puzzle was brought to a multitude of local public places for fans to work on. Jason Ritter and Scott Jones even helped with the puzzle as well. And many people working on the puzzle either took sleeping shifts like goddamn Squid Game, or simply didn't sleep at all. Regardless, while the puzzle wasn't entirely solved, a scattered idea of what the puzzle contained came to light, being an image of Bill Cipher, a gnome, and some symbols. The next day, Alex would post an image showcasing a rough idea of what the puzzle would look like, instead replacing the symbols with a code that said this is where the clue will appear. When 2 more days passed with no traction, Alex posted 2 sections of the puzzle, and eventually a virtual version was created by a fan. This digital version was solved, revealing the code corner of N-E Tillamook N-N-E Rodney. Jesus, mouthful. Regardless, the clue was found without the puzzle needing to be finished, as a fan discovered the gnome pictured on the puzzle by total accident. Located on the corner of Tillamook Street and Rodney in Portland, Oregon, as stated in the code. Seeing as the clue had already been solved, Alex still wanted to motivate fans to complete the physical puzzle, dubbed the Impossipuzzle by him, and he claimed that if the puzzle was completed, he would release the never-before-seen Gravity Falls pilot. The gnome that was discovered by chance was also accompanied by the 9th clue, along with a Viewmaster, which, for those who aren't aware, is a wacky kind of stereoscope thing where you put this funny wheel in this device and then click it and you see images and shit. I actually never knew these things had a name. I kinda just had them. Regardless, the 9th clue was on a little piece of paper reading to the redwoods you must race. If you're confused, you're in the right place. The gift shop is not too far. The password will buy the eyeball jar. The answer to this clue is made much clearer when you look at the images in the Viewmaster, images that depict a place known only as Confusion Hill, a tourist attraction in Mendocino. I'll pronounce it as Kino County, California. God, fuck my stupid dyslexic. God damn it. As made obvious by looking at pictures of this place, as well as the name of it, this is one of many inspirations behind the in-universe Mystery Shack. I haven't yet had the opportunity to go here myself, but I have been to the Mystery Spot, another similar tourist attraction, and it was awesome. Here are some photos I took while there. And here's a banana slug plush I bought. They have a lot of banana slugs there, that's why they sell this. Back to the hunt, however, a group of people went out to Confusion Hill as soon as possible, waiting in the early morning hours for the place to open. They headed to the gift shop depicted in the clue, but supposedly the jar was already found days prior by complete accident. You'll notice that a lot of these clues were found simply by someone stumbling upon them. The person who discovered the jar at first went by the name Riley, and while moving to Oregon, her and her father stopped by Confusion Hill, seeing as Riley was a big fan of Gravity Falls. Her father asked if Confusion Hill was a part of the ongoing scavenger hunt, to which an employee told them yes, not knowing that the hunt hadn't actually reached them just yet. Riley was able to eventually randomly guess the password after some time, this password being Philbrick, which, while obscure, could definitely be guessed by a hardcore fan if given enough time to think about it. The 10th clue was written on the bottom of the jar, and once Confusion Hill staff realized what had happened, they quickly got into contact with Riley and got her to tweet out an image of the jar and the clue written beneath it. The clue went as following. Where has my grunkle gone? To Stanley Street in Oregon. A telephone pole is where he's at. Why'd he have to bolt like that? Pretty straightforward, the next clue was located at Stanley Street in Oregon. And once fans arrived on the scene, they discovered, and somehow apparently lost and found again, a literal geocache bolt, seeing as the word bolt was underlined in the previous clue. After unscrewing it, a narrow piece of paper was found inside, this being the 11th 11th clue, reading, Roger Toft knows the place, behind a sign buried at the base. Near Pa's laundry on the hill, here lies the bones of a man named Bill. This note would lead hunters to the final clue, although this clue was originally supposed to be located within Maple Park, Oregon. Alex and Ian Worrell instead decided that the final clue would be located in the Enchanted Forest, a small theme park located in Oregon. The clue was written on ripped paper with a cipher on the front and part of the map. The clue read, return to where it all began, the final clue is in your hand. The parchment can be such a tease, the answer's written in the trees. This final clue stumped a lot of people, and it's no wonder why, seeing how damn complicated the final answer would be. In order to progress the hunt, Alex would give a hint on how to solve the final clue. An urban legend arcade game gives the method's correct name. Mathematically, the letters hide in branches and knots no matter what side. This directly coincides with the statement of the answer being written in the trees. The final answer was located somewhere in the original image posted by Alex, specifically in the branches and knots of the trees depicted behind the Bill statue. The urban legend arcade game being referred to is of course Polybius, a widely popular urban legend about, well, an arcade game called Polybius. Through this, fans assumed that a Polybius square was the code needed to help. The Polybius square is kind of hard to explain in words, but essentially it turns numbers and symbols into letters by putting the alphabet into a 5x5 square. So in order to solve the final clue, not only would some form of Polybius square need to be used, but they would need to be used on some kind of pattern in the knots and branches in this image. Yeah, not easy. Funnily enough, Gravity Falls fans actually weren't smart enough for this one. The person who cracked the code wasn't actually a Gravity Falls fan at all, but a 53-year-old man by the name of Michael Antonucci, a member of the American Cryptogram Association. This, along with a lot of other facts I've strung about throughout this recap, was brought to light by the creator Kean Carlisle, creator of the newly released most comprehensive documentary of the Cipher Hunt ever. For the purpose of my sanity and your little baby attention span, jangle jangle, I am very briefly rushing through a lot of these events, but if you want the real deal, please watch this video. I can't even imagine how much effort went into this, and it only has around 150k views. And yes, 150,000 is a lot of views, but something of this magnitude deserves at least like a million. Regardless, Michael, going by running as funny on Reddit, was able to figure out what no one else could. I'm kinda too stupid to explain any of this, so I'll just straight up read the original post. If you guys can stand another theory, here it is. 18 branches, 4 knots equals 22 Polybius needs pairs. So 11 letters, 5 different types. Bare branch slanted up, bare branch slanted down, branch with leaves slanted up, branch with leaves slanted down, and knot. Assign each of those a number 1 to 5 randomly. The letters themselves will come out as gibberish, but it does tell us which letters repeat and which don't. There are 7 different letters in the 11. The pattern goes X, Y, Y, Z, A, B, C, X, D, C, X. It doesn't matter what letters you use, what's important is that the first, 8th, and last letters are the same. The 2nd and 3rd are the same, and the 7th and 10th are the same. Big deal, right? But if we assume the last 2 letters are OR as in Oregon, we then get RYYZABORD If the first letter is a consonant, then 2 and 3 have to be a vowel. Since we've already used O, the only possibility is E. So now we have REEZABORDOR. There's only one place that fits, Reedsport, Oregon. The biggest problem is that an entire town isn't specific enough, even with the map on the upper left and the X. I just wanted to memorialize my theory here and see if anyone can add to it or shoot it down. So the branches and knots translated to numbers, with an upwards branch with needles being 1, a downwards branch with needles being 2, an upwards branch without needles being 3, a downwards branch without needles being 4, and a knot being 5. Translating these top to bottom and left to right gives a proper code that once deciphered did end up translating to Reedsportor, pointing towards Reedsport, Oregon. The map from earlier lined up with a particular path leading to the exact location in Reedsport that fans had to travel to. At this location the Bill Cipher statue resided, and was finally discovered on August 2nd at 7:53 p.m. by a Twitter account originally going by Shadow_Wolfwind, later renamed to @officialgfmayor, and then Shizu_Sando. Their display name is Momo, so that is what I will be referring to them as. Momo hung out around the statue while waiting for more people to arrive, and some other fans soon arrived and dug around the statue to discover a buried treasure chest. People also of course showed shook his hand, despite Alex's advice not to. Within the treasure chest was random plastic gems and coins, currency from different countries, a crown and sash that said Mayor of Gravity Falls, a miniature Bill Cipher statue, a music box, a copy of Journal 3 with exclusive drawings, a black light, framed art of some characters, and of course a USB drive. A note was left by Alex Hirsch revealed by the black light, reading, "Congratulations on finding the Bill Cipher statue. Bill's final resting place. Whosoever finds this treasure is hereby the new Mayor of Gravity Falls, so use your title well. Chances are you didn't do this alone, so share the wealth. You are an amazing fan. Your pal, Alex Hirsch." Momo was dubbed the official mayor of Gravity Falls. The USB drive contained an audio file of Grunkle Stan singing "We'll Meet Again," and a document titled "My Ex-Wife Still Misses Me, but Her Aim is Getting Better," that once opened, read, "Return backward to the past again 3, a reference to the show that is a reference to Back to the Future." Another thing was in this USB stick, but we'll get to that in just a second. In the meantime, we need to discuss the current whereabouts of the Bill Cipher statue, because yes, he is still out there. On August 3rd, only a day after it was found, some property issues led to Bill Cipher needing to be forcibly removed from the premises. There is a now very iconic video of Bill being hauled way into the back of a pickup truck. Alex soon tweeted out, "Update, I got permission from the property owner to install Bill in his forest path, but it turns out there's another property owner I never heard of who disputes the location. No worries, rather than get into a Hatfield/McCoy situation, we're having the statue moved to a new spot." Supposedly though, there was never an actual conflict, it was just that Bill had been placed in the wrong area the entire time. While Bill was being transported and also held by the police for the time being, he was injured slightly with his hat breaking off. At the police station, the hat went missing, and while people at first assumed a fan had stolen it, it turned out the police just threw it out. And they say police brutality isn't a thing. Bill was soon released from police custody, which probably isn't the best idea considering his crimes, but whatever, and he was soon brought to Bicentennial Park, missing his hat. On August 15th, Alex asked people to move the statue to a new location, and on the 18th, Bill was removed from Bicentennial Park. A sign reading "Bill was here" left in his place. 2 days later, it was discovered that Bill found his home in Confusion Hill, and soon he acquired a new hat. Confusion Hill would also become home to the finished physical puzzle, as it was framed in the gift shop. A treasure box is also located within Confusion Hill, containing a message congratulating fans. It was encouraged for people to take and leave treasures within the box, and in September 2016, the box was replaced with a larger box and was given the addition of a logbook for people to write in, putting down their name and the day they found Bill, as well as where they're from. I don't know if all this stuff is still there, so if anybody has been to Confusion Hill recently, please let me know. If this video does absurdly well, I promise I will make it my mission to go myself and document my travels on another channel. You'll have to hunt for the vlog though, I won't post anything about it. The promises of the released pilot and deleted scenes were also fulfilled. The deleted scenes were released in the collector's edition discs of Gravity Falls, where the pilot was discovered online using the username Return Backwards and the password To The Past Again 3, the message discovered on the USB. The pilot is essentially the same plot as the very first episode, but with a wildly different art style. I truthfully don't think there will ever be another event like the Cipher Hunt. Every single thing about it is perfect. It's a worldwide treasure hunt created as a creator's dying wish for his most popular project, a love letter to the series and to the fans that's lives were touched by it. Although there was a certain occurrence that could have almost completely prevented the Cipher Hunt from happening at all. Tell me, what's the worst thing you can think of? No, not bad enough. Worse than that. Even worse! That's right, dear viewer. A child. The Cipher Hunt was almost completely destroyed by a child by the name of Bradley. Bradley was an ordinary child who lived in Reedsport, Oregon, who discovered the Bill Cipher statue on July 12th while going for a peaceful stroll. Bradley had no idea what Gravity Falls was, but was still very intrigued by the statue, and posted an image of it onto Reddit on an unsolved mystery board. Alex Hirsch caught wind of this and was panicked, rushing to contact Bradley and told him all about the hunt, and begged him to take the post down. In his desperation, he did what any brave man would have done, bribed the child. Alex gave Bradley $100, a signed piece of artwork, and gave him bragging rights as soon as the Cipher Hunt was over. Bradley, being the madman that he was, dug up the treasure chest that was near Bill, signed his name on a bunch of the currency, and put something in the USB drive, a simple document titled hi.txt that held the link to his Twitter account. While Bradley would speak about its findings briefly, the full story wasn't revealed until 2022. The full story behind this encounter is a little bit hazy, as supposedly the USB drive within the treasure chest was an entirely new USB drive that Alex asked Bradley to put in, as he had forgotten Stan's message in the original drive. Bradley also claimed to have been giving $300 instead of $100, which makes this entire situation all the more hilarious. There are many more details to the story, but for the most part, that was the story of Cipher Hunt, the most revolutionary treasure hunt in all of history. I genuinely believe this to be the most perfect ARG of all time, as I've already claimed in the title of this video. Not only was it one of the most collaborative efforts I have ever seen online, but it actually required fans to go outside, meet each other, dig for clues, and think outside the box. People of all ages were over the moon about the entire situation, and the end result actually paid off. Not just discovering and homing the statue, but also the fact that the hunt resulted in the release of special behind-the-scenes and never-before-seen content. I think this is what every ARG should strive to be. And no, I don't think that every ARG needs to be a massive worldwide treasure hunt, because obviously that wouldn't really work unless you had a budget and a name for yourself already, as well as a fandom as massive as that of Gravity Falls. But it's not about that, it's about the passion, the collaboration, the engagement. A good ARG requires a community of people working together to solve something, and it requires some creativity too. The Cipher Hunt used so many different mediums to make it fun, while most ARGs these days are just boring YouTube analog horror static. The Cipher Hunt was also not nearly as easy as a bunch of ARGs these days are. It required actual professionals, took hours of non-stop puzzle solving to the point where some people stayed up days straight. The sense of community that this hunt brought is just unheard of. A group of strangers staying up all night at a local restaurant or someone's house just to put puzzle pieces together for hours. I haven't seen anything that charming, like, ever. The last time I engaged in a community-driven event was at PAX, in which I was trampled at and yelled at by fans that were there for the same reason as me. As the dust on the Cipher Hunt began to settle, it was more apparent than ever that Gravity Falls was over. Aside from a few comics and maybe some charity streams, Gravity Falls was kind of just dead. Of course, it always lived on in its fans, but most of them simply moved on to newer frontiers, Alex himself included, working on new shows over at Netflix. Gravity Falls came out in 2012 and ended in 2016. 2022 marked the 10-year anniversary of the show, and 2026 will mark the 10-year anniversary of it ending, along with the release of Journal 3 and the Cipher Hunt. 12 years have passed since Gravity Falls' release. 8 years since we had last seen anything big relating to the show. But evil doesn't die, it merely sleeps. And earlier this year, it looks like a certain triangular fella had just finished taking his nap.
Hey, Quinn! Want to talk about my book?
Pardon the disturbance, I don't know who that was. But yes, 2024 marked the release of a brand new adventure featuring Bill Cipher, an adventure in the form of a book, appropriately titled The Book of Bill. The Book of Bill was released on July 23rd, 2024, and was immediately a very big deal to fans. Not only had it been ages since any official Gravity Falls content of actual substance had released, but it also surrounded the most beloved character in the fandom while also placing him in a much more mature environment, allowing the character and his writing to truly flourish. Unlike the previous major book release, Journal 3, the contents within this book don't follow a strict format at all, and intend to be as strange, wacky, and creative as possible, featuring a multitude of different artists and art mediums. The Book of Bill began a while back, when Disney approached Alex Hirsch and asked him if he had any interest in creating a new Gravity Falls book, seeing as Journal 3 was such a massive success. Give readers awful, messed up life advice. Disney very quickly went, what the fuck, no, and the idea was thrown out. Much later, however, whatever department of Disney decides which books would be greenlit realized that they were desperate, and they asked Alex if he wanted to do that terrible idea of a book. It's no secret that Alex Hirsch hates Disney, making fun of them on Twitter and speaking out against them, claiming he never wants to work with them on a show again. I suppose he wanted an opportunity to mess with them, and as such, he kept suggesting out-of-pocket terrible things to put in the book, expecting it to be cancelled again or for his ideas to be scrapped. But Disney was just kind of okay with most things, and thus, against all odds, the Book of Bill was born. If the Cipher Hunt was an epilogue to Bill Cipher and Gravity Falls, the Book of Bill is a prologue, giving context and backstory to the show's most elusive and mysterious character. Despite being the main antagonist of the series, Bill Cipher was only ever in 7 episodes, his biggest role not being until the very end of the series. The Book of Bill allowed for a further exploration of his character, as well as his relationships with the rest of the cast, and of course, no Gravity Falls media is complete without a good amount of mystery. And this book is no exception. Almost every page features puzzles and clues ready to be solved, and weeks after the book's release, it would become somewhat of a codex for yet another massive mystery, and, after 8 years, another alternate reality game. To understand the actual ARG that would follow its release, we first need to take a look at the actual contents of the Book of Bill itself. The best way to experience this book is to purchase it and read through it yourself, as it's not exactly something a quick summary can capture. The artwork, presentation, and composition of this book is creatively amazing, and if you're a fan of Gravity Falls even just a little, I'd highly recommend picking it up for yourself. Before actually delving into the contents of the book, there are a few little lore tidbits we have to get out of the way. While I hope most of you watching are actually familiar with Gravity Falls and its story, I know a short few of you may have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Essentially, what you need to know is that this is Stan Lee Pines and this is Stan Ford Pines. We'll be referring to them as Stan and Ford. Ford has 6 fingers, he wrote the journals, and he built this big portal to different dimensions because he was manipulated by Bill Cipher to do so. Ford used to think Bill was his friend, but he was just using him for the most part. Also, he had an assistant named Fiddle Ford or Fiddle Ford McGucket, but he is referred to as F in the journals because Ford and Fiddle Ford start with they both start with an F. Okay, I think that's it. Let's get into the actual book now. I won't be going over every page, but instead relaying the book's most important information, so anything that contributes to the lore of the show or of Bill himself. The book begins with a little bit of in-universe lore about the book, stating that Ford found the book while packing for a trip, and under the assumption that it was some sort of prank, destroyed it. However, it appeared again, and despite Ford's many attempts, it just didn't seem to be able to be destroyed. He describes the book as created by forces unknown, printed on stitched-together human brain matter, sealed with black wax, moonstones, and invisible ink. He claims that the book infects other books, and that if you somehow come into possession of it, you must never turn its pages. You must never write your name, and you must never believe a word. Assuming you won't let some old man cock block you from reading the book you just paid $20 for, turning the page instructs you on how to summon Bill himself. All you have to do is place your hand on the right page, clear your mind, and repeat the words, "Time to get weird." Follow these steps and congratulations, you've summoned your very own Bill Cipher. Every Bill is personalized, so make sure to take good care of yours. Bill tells you he'll let you read his book as long as you do something for him later on, and after shaking on it, you're granted access into the Book of Bill. The next page does have something very important, but very easy to miss. Here we see a bunch of parody printing information, and at the bottom of the page, it reads, "For more Bill Cipher press fun, visit thisisnotawebsite.com.com. This website is the most important piece in this puzzle, and we'll get there eventually, don't worry. In the meantime, we must take a look at the table of contents within the book. About Me, Bill's Guide to Everything, My Story, Sixer, and The Big Plan. About Me is a very simple section, providing some Bill facts, introducing his powers, forcing you into reading The Great Gatsby, and giving you a little test. Bill's Guide to Everything is exactly what it sounds like. Bill gives advice on the secrets of the universe, humans, love, deja vu, death, morality, parallel dimensions, urban legends, deja vu, silly straws, codes, more secrets, if you have the special edition of the book, dreams, the meaning of life, and deja vu. Bill gives you some cool tattoos before giving dating advice, one of his little tricks being titled the Love Cage, stating that if your date is still somehow unimpressed by your screaming and smells, then simply trap them in a massive stone pyramid and sing an increasingly shrill song until they're mentally broken enough to confess their true feelings. Wait a damn minute. Bill then tells you how you'll die, explains parallel dimensions, showing off a few in which the Pines twins failed throughout the series, and shows some wacky urban legends with illustrations from Trevor Henderson himself. He also shows off his horrible heads, one of which looks, oddly familiar. Disney, are you sure you want to have this associated with your brand? It's also here where if you have the special golden edition from Barnes & Noble, you'll have access to a few extra pages that aren't available in the regular red version. These pages include ways to summon Bill himself, mentions of cults, some moral dilemmas, information on mind control and possession, some fun holidays, and a recipe for Bill Nog, which looks delicious, as well as some secret facts such as the secret numbers, secret menu, and Minnesota. We then get a look at the dreams of several characters, confirming that Ford canonically has nightmares about his sexuality, Dipper having dreams about his dysfunctional parents, and of course Dipper's search history, confirming that he is attracted to the green M&M. Me too, man, me too. Also, look at this Bill popsicle! I wanna eat it! We're then introduced to arguably the most lore important part of this book, Bill's story. We learn about his past extensively, including when he was a baby. Oh my god, look at him, the little la 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 la. Bill claims that at birth everyone loved him, to the point where he was declared the best baby of all time, and his birthday was a holiday. Queen never cry. These descriptions reek with insecurity, and we then discovered that Bill had a gift. a rare mutation. He could see the third dimension. Supposedly mentioning a third dimension was illegal in Bill's dimension, and he saw it necessary to free everyone he knew from those delusions. Bill proceeded to destroy his entire universe, something that when he tries to talk about, he blacks out completely. Bill explains that he freed himself from his world and everyone else too, and that everyone loved him and everything was fine. Bill fled to a new dimension, meeting a crew of friends he dubbed the Henchmaniacs, characters that we see in the final episodes of Gravity Falls. Bill reminisces over the good old days, explaining that the Nightmare Realm, Bill's dimension, was so unstable that in a trillion years, anyone who wasn't in a stable dimension would be wiped from existence. Thus began Bill's journey to find his friends a new dimension to crash at. Bill takes us through a journey through time, showing us his past partners, explaining the anti-Cipher society becoming bendy, and explaining how an old partner of his, the shaman, cast a spell preventing him from returning to Gravity Falls. In time, though, someone was able to reverse the spell and summon Bill back to Gravity Falls. In his words, who could it be? A genius? An idiot? It was both. The chapter's Sixer explains Bill's relationship with Ford, the name Sixer being a nickname he would call him due to his 6 fingers. I'll talk about the nature of their relationship later, maybe in another video, ? But all we need to know is that this segment shows missing pages from Journal 3 of Ford praising and speaking of his relationship with Bill, whom he refers to as his muse, as well as some information on his assistant, Fiddleford McGucket. We learn how much time Bill spent manipulating Ford, spending years flattering him, giving him gifts, and physically helping him out whenever he needed it. In the original show, we discover that Ford learned Bill's true nature after his assistant accidentally fell into the portal that Ford created on Bill's behalf. In the Book of Bill, we see the true extent of Bill's betrayal, how it affected Ford mentally and physically, and how Bill was very upset at their breakup. Bill continuously tormented Ford in an attempt to win him back, seeing as he needed him in order to give him access to their dimension, until eventually Ford was forced to contact his brother Stan before he accidentally fell into the portal and would travel to different dimensions for 30 years. We then see how Bill took their fallout, which wasn't good at all. He complained obsessively, getting absurdly drunk at the bar O'Sadley's before drunkenly attempting to order 1 Sixer, please, from an interdimensional Mexican restaurant before speaking incomprehensibly about his mother. Bill then approaches you with his plan to take over your body and achieve world domination together. Before you can agree, Ford interrupts the book once again, this time bringing along some advice from Mabel, Dipper, and Stan. Also, just saying that Mabel explicitly refers to Bill as Ford's super needy ex who needs to move on by crushing on someone else's uncle. Regardless, Bill doesn't appreciate this display of familial affection, once again trying to go through with the deal. But something stops him. The connection weakens as Bill is snapped back into reality. The reality that he is dead, having been punched into death by Stan. It's now time to discover Bill's current whereabouts, revealed to us through a rhyme created by the Axolotl, a mysterious, powerful, extra-dimensional being who appears to be the most powerful creature in this universe. The Axolotl offers Bill a second chance at life, in a new form, in a new time, as long as he's able to pass the hardest trial, supposedly what Bill needs the most. Therapy. Bill is now locked in the Theraprism until he can achieve redemption, something that may likely never happen. The Book of Bill was a result of Therapeutic Journaling Arts and Crafts Hour, in which Bill used this hour to reach out to the reader with the book, which was, of course, against the rules. Bill is furious at his current predicament, explaining that no matter what the idiot counselors in the Smiling Cage say, he doesn't need anyone, he never has, and he doesn't miss anyone. He's fine. Someday, someone will let him out. And thus ends the Book of Bill, a clusterfuck of information presented by yours truly. The fan reaction to the Book of Bill was massive, as I stated before. Gravity Falls and similar tags were trending, especially on sites like Tumblr, and I feel like everyone's TikTok For You page was flooded with everything to do with the Book of Bill if they had even a slight interest in Gravity Falls. Memes, shipping, AUs, all of it, it felt like it was 2018 again. As I mentioned previously, the book did have a website mentioned within its pages. This is not a website.com, and when fans tried to go onto the website, a code was necessary to access its contents. This code ended up being T.J. Eckelberg, a name mentioned in the pages of The Great Gatsby that are presented in the book. After entering this password, the website showed a timer counting down to a specific date, although no one was actually sure what the actual countdown was going to reveal. When the time actually came for the countdown to reach 0, the page was renamed, reading "Time is dead and meaning has no meaning." The page, however, immediately turned to an image of the character Seuss and a text bubble containing the message, "Oops, the Mystery Shack is currently experiencing some delays, dude. Please bear with us as we figure out which wire goes where." Clicking Seuss changes the message to a variety of options, one of which being a possessed version with the message, "So many questions!" On August 9th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, the website had been successfully fixed, although it's unanimously agreed upon that the website was never actually broken in the first place. Once again, a random image and phrase of Seuss was displayed, as well as a countdown counting down to an hour and 30 minutes later. When the countdown ended, we were finally brought to a brand new webpage, this website showing a McGucket Labs computer on a desk, a rotating prism showing on the monitor. Aside from the computer, a few things are also on the desk: a skull with a golden tooth, a book of Bill with a knife through it, a candle, a prism, and a jar with a lock on it. Clicking on some of these brings up a few fun things, which I'll get to in just a moment. What's really important here is the computer. There's a slot where you can type whatever you want into it, and by inputting specific words and phrases, you'll receive something as an output, be it a link, an image, or something entirely different. This section of the video is going to be dedicated entirely to recapping every single input and output possible on this website. Unless, of course, I forget a few, but I'm going to be speeding through a lot of these, and if you already know the ins and outs of this website, feel free to skip to when I actually, talk about the outputs and their meaning. Alright. Whew, here we go. First off, as I said, clicking on a few things gets you some results. Clicking on the Book of Bill gives you 2 images, both notes from Ford. These images read as following: "Dipper, if you're reading this, then I am dead." Kidding. Sorry, Stanley thought that would be funny. Haha. "We're currently out shopping for harpoons to prepare for our trip to the Arctic. I had a hunch you might sneak into my lab while I was away despite my many warnings not to. Good on you. Curiosity enriched the mind of the cat, they always say. Before I hurl the book into the bottomless pit, I've been experimenting on it, extracting any last secrets I can yet hend from within. It seems it is always changing, reflecting the tortured mind of its author and reader alike. Feel free to take this rainy day to pursue any extra pages you may find down here at your leisure. But be warned, prolonged exposure to Cipher's tricks can lead to madness. Then again, you and Mabel are 13 now. You're probably old enough to handle any demonic curses that come your way. Just remember to stick together. A true mystery hunt isn't about the mystery. It's about who you're hunting with. Finally, I understand that. Stanford Pines. P.S. Seuss, if you're reading this, no, I won't make you a Mr. Pines amiibo. I don't even know what that means. Stop asking. P.P.S. Stan, if you end up breaking into my lab at some point later today, brave. Still as good as a locksmith as an 8th grade. Beers are under the desk. P.P.P.S. Bill, if you're somehow reading this, go choke on glass. I am, as Mabel says, leaving you on red. Clicking on the Bill symbol on the knife gives you this image. I think this says the Cipher Optician, I can't pronounce that. 'Twas once believed that ghosts and demons were invisible to man, but with those crank-operated quadromonocles, Cipher's form, once visible only to fortune tellers and a few rare species of shrimp, hey, that's me, shall at last something be revealed. See Cipher before he sees you. Powered by optional syrup made from ground-up bumblebee eyes, let the power of bumblebee eyes work for you. For added effectiveness, we advise charging the Cipher Optician by staring directly at the source of all light. The sun. Bill Hunter's Almanac. Every fact we have unearthed about the Fiend is collected herein, for only 1 halfpenny a volume. We have even collected some jokes. Example, knock knock, whom calls? The eradication of Bill Cipher, that is whom. Joke complete. Clicking on the golden tooth of the skeleton grants you a get-out-of-death-free card, which you can print. Clicking on the eyeball jar gives you this image accompanied by the text, "I should have known better than to try advanced construction with a species that didn't have opposable thumbs. The interdimensional portal was as hard to use as it was to say out loud." No wonder these tuna net-bound squeaky toys didn't become the dominant species. Learn to operate a hammer, then we'll talk. Clicking on the text on top of the computer reading McGucket Labs gives you this image. Okay, McGucket, go. Sweet tar and molasses, this is the first time I've been asked to journal in 30-odd years. I can't write as proper as I used to, so I constructified a diction bot to transcribe for me. Hello, I am dictation bot. Dictation is all I know. I understand every word in the dictionary, but the one word I do not understand is love. Dictation bot, hush before I throw you in the bad robot graveyard. Sorry, father, I will return to dictation. Any which way, my grandpappy used to say, you can't call a goose with a hog whistle, which means you shouldn't expect a swindler to change his tune. I never met Triangle Danny or however they call him, but I saw him one time. At least I think I did. And he's more or less Lucifer incarnate if I do say so myself. I scrummaged up an old record from a yard sale with some proper advice on the subject. Hoo-wee, it's a good way to clear out the guests at the end of a hoedown, but it's got some good advice. Type hectoring in the computer down in the lab to hear it. Anyhow, if you ever need a damp burlap sack full of miscellaneous springs or want to hear how to create cold fusion, you know who to call. Me and Tater are gonna get back catching up on fishing. Caught us a whopper the other day. P.S. I think I had a shirt that looked like that triangle feller in college. Better find it so I can burn it proper. Good night, Sally. Okay, now time for all 325 recorded codes in alphabetical order. I hope you brought snacks for this one. 29121239168518 gives you the text, Who comes from Zimtrex 5? 333 Sundapple Lane Cozy Creek Ill. 60714946111 gives you the text, Bill Cipher's lawyer. 3466554 gives you the text, What leaves a thin line in the snow? Abuelita leads to this YouTube video. Ad astra perispera, a phrase that I am definitely not pronouncing right, gives you 2 images written by Ford, reading Cipher's corpse. I spent yesterday with Mabel applying spells, curses, and unicorn hairs to the base of Cipher's remains. Mabel is taking her role as my Cipher Defense Squad assistant very seriously, but asked us both to wear witch hats for some reason, which I happily obliged. I have always seen Dipper as cut from a similar cloth as me, but I'm delighted to report that Mabel has a vibrant, curious mind, well-suited to discovery and adventure. Anomalies are indeed present at the site of the statue. Nearby shadows stretch into triangular shapes, compasses point directly away from Cipher, as though he is the anti-north. There is no sound. Not even birds will come near. Mabel, perhaps sensing my unease, threw an impromptu eulogy for Bill, which involved a lot more sock puppets than you would usually expect at a funeral. Goodbye, Cipher, you are dead, blown up in my grunkle's head. Too much power hurt your soul, reincarnate as a vole. Amen. His funeral gave me a bittersweet sense of closure. How strange it is to look back on it all now. I once considered him the center of my life, the sun in my galaxy, when all along he was a black hole sucking everything bright into his bottomless ego. Is this statue the lost, sun-bleached husk of a powerless, forgotten failure, or a warning of something sinister yet to come? You tell me, dear reader, what do you see when you look into Cipher's eye? Ad astra perispera, Stanford, and Mabel Pines. Alex Hirsch, and Alexander Robert Hirsch leads to the Google search for the word flannel. I forgot to add this at first, but there is a rare result for typing in Alex Hirsch, being these 2 images accompanied by the text, Fact, Alex Hirsch died in Burbank in 2016, choking on a pen cap while beginning to outline Season 3. Not wanting bad press, the Walt Disney Corporation quietly dissolved his remains in a vat of turpentine, acetone, and benzine, and had their Imagineers replace him with a lifelike animatronic replica made from a rejected Abe Lincoln from the Hall of Presidents. Many were fooled, but the signs are obvious for those who know where to look. Have you seen him lately? His flesh sags because it's rubber, there are gray hairs showing, these are wires, and he looks more visibly tired than ever before, needs recharging. This photo was snuck out of the Disney vault by an unnamed contact who was recently found face down in the water dead in It's a Small World. Coincidence? There is no such thing as a coincidence. Look at him in interviews post-2016. Watch how he nervously fidgets in his seat and will start talking too fast when there are too many lights on him. What could explain this? ADHD? No, that's a malfunctioning hydraulic tube in his Achilles heel and RPM setting that speeds up from overheating. Have you ever seen him and a magnet in the same room at the same time? Have you ever seen him go through airport security or solve a CAPTCHA? What about his blinking? He's blinking deciphered is Morse code for Buy Mulan 2 on Blu-ray and Disney DVD. I know there will be some who doubt me, but I've seen a file of his source code, and it says he is due for maintenance update in December 15th, 2024 at exactly 11:13 a.m. See what happens then, and when you do, email me at mickeyleaks11111@gmail.com. mom. The truth must be known. Jesus, what a mouthful. Also, this image is fucking horrifying. Stare at it for too long. Stare at it for a while, okay? Just look at it, look at it. Let it manifest into your subconscious. Just let it live in your brain for a little while. On December 15th, 2024, at exactly 11:13 a.m., Alex tweeted some strange messages that were later deleted. People tried looking into this, but it's more than apparent it was just a reference to the image and the text and everything, and Alex was just having some fun as always. Algebra gives you this image. Am I Blanchin gives you the text Girl We Blanchin. Analog horror, urban legend, or creepypasta gives you this image accompanied by the text Urban Legend number 42814. Now that's a spicy purgatory. Usually found in strip malls and acid flashbacks, the Always Garden looks like a medium-budget Italian restaurant. But if you walk inside to grab a handful of Parmesan, you'll discover you are now forever lost in the labyrinth digestive tract of an ancient, unknowable god. Come for the damp Caesar salad, stay because escape is literally impossible. As the commercial says, the Always Garden, when you're here, you're here. Answer gives you the text question. A rat gives you the text Thurbert's number. Asshole, as well as any bad words such as bitch, fuck, dick, shit, whatever, you get it, gives you this image. If you get the reference, congratulations, we're friends now. Yippee. Axolotl gives you the text You ask a lotl questions. Ba gives you a pitch for ciphertology accompanied by this image and text that when deciphered reads Black Sheep. Baba, or Disco Girl, leads to an audio file of Dipper singing Disco Girl.
I wasn't interrupting anything, was I?
No. I had a thing that I heard.
Sounded like the entire 70s was happening in here.
It was a ghost. You heard a ghost.
I heard a ghost singing top 40 hits.
Yeah. It must be a ghost from that era, because who else would sing a song from then?
Well, you're a child wearing a towel, so I'll leave.
Oh, okay, that was close. Where was I? She's got sass for miles and miles. Disco will outlast all musical styles. Disco girl, so wild and true. That girl is you. Ooh. Strutting down that avenue. That girl is you. It's you. Our Eurovision application is under review. That girl is you. All right, I better hide this tape. Mabel can never know.
Baby, Baby Bill, Daddy, Mommy, and La 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 give you, this, accompanied by the text reading, Congrats, guess what's growing inside you right now? See you in 6 months, Papa. Bill, Cipher, and Cipher give you various links, one being the wiki page for Triangle, another the page for Eye of Providence, and another being the link to Jazzy Triangle meets a square from Sesame Street. Black Sheep gives you a video of a barbershop poll accompanied by the text, A Test of Patience. Okay, hotshot, you think you got what it takes to join me? Time for a test of patience. I'm gonna need you to stare at this barbershop poll for a little while. I'll check back when I can tell you're patient enough. Shouldn't be too long. You can trust me. Blanchin or Blanching leads you to this video. Oh, hi Axel. Blendin, Blandin, and Benjamin Blandin give you the text Time Agent Lost and Presumed Incompetent. Blind Eye gives you this image. Clicking on it to zoom in causes it to get blurry. Booberry gives you this image which I am not reading out loud. There's too much effort. Book of Bill gives you the text Hide it under shirt during Pledge of Allegiance. Boyfriend, Love, Romance, True Love, Marry Me, Lonely, and Is Bill Single gives you this image accompanied by a short audiobook of the Bill Cipher romance novel. Nice. Breakup, Divorce, and Rock Bottom give you the logo to O'Sadleys. Burnside gives you the text Burned Inside, and Burned Inside gives you this video. Butternubbins gives you the text, "You've earned a treat. Enter Dispense My Treat to download." Dispense My Treat gives you access to multiple downloadable images from the Book of Bill. They make for great wallpapers. Buy Gold gives you the text, "Bye." Caesar et Bash and Vinegar... The fuck does that mean? Gives you the text, "Who defeated Silas Birchtree?" Card gives you this image. Chip, Nacho, or Dorito gives you this video. Jump scare warning on this one. CIA gives you, "Your webcam is on! We are watching!" Ciphertology gives you the text, "Curious? Keep an open mind." Clone gives you this image with the text, "Here, he's your problem now, just keep this guy from liquids." Conspiracy gives you a video of Charlie Day losing his shit.
Okay, I don't get it. I don't get it. You go to the website, there's a countdown, right? But it's counting backwards, right? The whole thing's backwards, okay? Backwards countdown. So what's that supposed to mean? And then so you click Seuss, and he has these messages, just a few messages. That's it. Goes nowhere. There should be more, right? I mean, I typed in T.J. Eckelberg. I read through the entire PDF of The Great Gatsby for some reason. The trail runs cold, so I'm thinking, okay, it's Morse code, right? So there's Morse code in the sparks, but the sparks don't say anything. So I'm losing my mind here. I'm losing my freaking mind. What does it mean? What does it mean?
Cray Cray gives you a link to the Wikipedia page for mental health. Kraz links to the Gem and the Holograms theme song. Crypto, as well as Fortnite, Skibbity, Riz, Elon, Doge, NFT, and Gyat gives you the response, "Life privileges revoked, now releasing poison gas." Cryptogram Codex quite literally gives you the file to download 4 different cryptogram fonts. Cursed gives you these 2 images. Curse Woodabane gives you these 2 downloadable images. Anyone down to speak to Cipher with me? Get your mom to text my mom and we can set up a playdate. Death gives you the text, "Life's goth cousin." Deer Teeth gives you the text, "For you, kid." Destruction is a form of creation gives you an image of Fiddleford McGucket's documented crash out. Diona Rap gives you this image. Hey, wait a minute. Dipper gives you this image that changes the more you input the code. Pine Tree, I'm so glad you found this message. Written in the book are secrets only you could comprehend, written in solar-powered ink. To train your eyes to see the ink, simply stare directly at the sun for 13 hours. No blinking. It's the only way, Dipper. If you start to smell your eyes burning, that means it's working. If you can still read this, then buddy, you haven't trained enough. Back to looking at the sun, kid. Chop chop. Those messages aren't going to decode themselves. Go, go. I think it's working. Stare harder. Harder! You've almost solved it! Dippy Fresh leads to a Reddit URL of this image. Disney, Disneyland, Epcot, and Mickey Mouse gives you the output, rat.gif censored for your protection. Does God exist? / face of God / Frillium / God / help me / is God real / is religion real / reveal God to me, save me, say, show me God, whatever. All of these God things, who should I worship, who should I pray to, all of this. Oh my god. It gives you this video of an axolotl swimming in front of a Bill Cipher statue. Okay? Alright. Good. Okay, we got that. Duchess approves / the Duchess approves gives you the text, "Count Lionel, what's he doing here?" Ducktective gives you Detective Stars in Love Quacktually. Coming to Oi, It's the Cockney channel in it this fall. Easter Eggs gives you Easter eggs, sounds like a conspiracy. Euclid gives you Life Form Not Found. Euclidia gives you Dimension Not Found. Or you slid, I think it's click, right, I think. Even His Lies Are Lies, a code found in the Book of Bill's front end paper, gives you an image of the Ford chess piece, along with some text, presumably from a therapy transcript between Bill and an anonymous therapist. As we played our first game of chess, I read Sixer's thoughts. Rook to b12, no, he'll expect that. He'll expect any of my gambits, unless I do something completely, utterly random. That'll throw him, unless he's counting on random. What's the opposite of random? Predictable. He'll never predict that. It never once occurred to him what my real strategy was, letting him win, because winning made him feel special, And good God, did he want to feel special. A quick perusal of his memories showed that Sixer's entire sense of self-worth was tied up in his self-image as a lone genius, causing him to ride an endless seesaw between dizzying ego and plummeting insecurity. The truth was, he was half a genius. The other half seemed to be frozen at the age of 18, still a child, totally dependent on outside praise, terrible at understanding and relating to others. A perfect pawn. So Ford was nothing but a tool to you? You say that like it's a bad thing. Tools are useful. You try putting a nail in a board using your forehead and tell me how you feel about hammers after. So you never cared about Ford? I never said that. Everyone likes having a pet human, as long as he remembers when to sit, stay, and roll over control of his entire life. If you ever had a henchman, you'll need to do the same. Oh, but you're too mindful for things like henchmen, aren't you? Let's talk about your parents. Conclude session. Family Matters gives you, did I do that? FBI gives you, your webcam is on, we are watching. Fiddle Ford McGucket and all variations of his name lead to a link to Cotton Eye Joe on YouTube. Phil Brick gives you, I'm not impressed. Fixin' It 1 gives you the link to Fixin' It with Seuss. Ford gives you this image detailing attribute of Ford of, I wrote attribute of Ford on the script. Attributes of Ford at 18 years old. Ford Tramarine gives you this image showcasing the color of Ford Tramarine. Forget the Past gives you this video showcasing strange color patterns, which is the first we will see of the color cipher. These colors translate to 2 dimensions to and fro. You always know which way to go. If you're lost, don't be afraid. In Euclidia, you've got it made. Run too far to right of frame, you'll appear on left again. Jump too high, don't cry or fret. You'll pop up from the ground, I bet. In this place, there is no fear. Loved ones will be ever near. Rules and rules always clear. Euclidia, we hold you dear. And yes, when me and my friends were investigating some of these codes, we manually wrote out the colors to figure out some of these. It was not fun. If you haven't guessed by now, Euclidia is Bill's home dimension, hence the mentions of 2 dimensions, all that stuff. Fuck Alex Hirsch, fuck you Alex, shows a Google search result of Get Help Therapy. Game Theory, along with MatPat, gives you this video, however there is a rare variant of this video in which MatPat freaks out, and we can see what at first appears to be a color code on the bracelets he's wearing. However, it takes only one look at the colors to actually realize that if it were a code, it would be gibberish.
Hello, Internet! This time, you're on your own. But, hold on, if I'm here, then does that canonically make me a character in the Gravity Falls universe? No, and I'm wearing yellow! Oh god, what is going on right now? Am I a part of the show? Should I be on this board? What is happening? Am I secretly a clue right now? I need you to solve this, please.
Gideon will give you a Google search result for sweat resistance bolo ties or an audio file of Gideon humming We'll Meet Again and whispering I love you forever, Mabel. Giffany will give you a few random results based on how many times you input the password. These include images, text, files, whatever. Glass Shard Beach gives you an image of a roadside attraction known as Hellhole. Globnar leads to a YouTube link to a Crossfire commercial from the 90s, and I am willing to bet actual money that over 90% of these views are from Gravity Falls fans. Goodnight Sally shows a t-shirt of Bill Cipher with the text Keep on Possessin', and if you look closely at Bill's right shoe, there's some Morse code that deciphers to Die on a Rap, which is paranoid spelled backwards. This is how you get to the wallpapers from earlier. It's all one big riddle. There's a riddle in the website. That's how you get the Gravity Falls gives you the response, never heard of it. Grubbly Hemberdeck gives you the text, what's on Bill's flag? This is a part of the riddle. Grunkle Stan Pine, Stan, and any variation of Stan's name will give you results to several different eBay searches, including, in this order, Brass Knuckles, Gold Chains for Old Men, Dogs Playing Poker, 8-Ball Cane, Girdles for Old Men. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk into that, dude. I'm sorry, you can bully me in the comments if you want. Shriner Fez and Colonel Sanders tie. Oh my god, I'm not even gonna re-record this. I don't even care, dog. This is the authentic me. You guys are getting to know me better. You know, we're at this stage in our relationship where I'm letting you see more sides of me, even if they're not the most flattering. But you know, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. After inputting Stan's name again after this, you'll be led to the Wheel of Shame. Text reads, "Step right up, it's time to play my favorite game." Bootleg Sixer over here spent a lifetime trying to hide his humiliations, but I've been inside his mind, so now they're all yours for the low price of being my new pal. It's showtime, folks, and the only way to lose is to be named Stanley Pines. Click below to see what this mouth-breathing carnival barker has been keeping to the vest all these years. Brought to you by Shame. Shame, it's the one friend who never leaves. There are several things to click on this page: fears, ex-wives, secret shames, unreported crimes, failed products, darkest thought, lowest moments, and at the very bottom, how he beat me. Starting with fears, we have the IRS finding out, Seuss being the one to find Stan dead and taxidermying his body. Seuss would consider this an honor. The cops calling Stan's fingerprints unusually little, betting Dipper in a poker game and losing, word getting out about Stan's little fingerprints, people discovering that they're littler than Ford's, Stan being dubbed Baby Fingers Pines by the media and having to look into black market finger enlarging. I need fucking black market finger enlarging. Have you guys ever seen my fingers? Austin, if you have a picture of my fingers for any reason, put them on screen. Or not my fingers, just my hands in general. Why are they? They're so tiny! Ex-wives reads, Old Goldie, Vegas wedding to a cursed gold tooth antique. Marilyn fake name, Vegas wedding to a cursed gold tooth antique. Brenda Chuggins, shack attraction for having world's biggest thumb. Carney tip, never date your own freaks. She used that thumb to hitchhike off with Johnny Snakes 3 days later. Sandra Sweetmeadow, a kind, beautiful Amish girl who made Stan choose between her and his sinful gold chains. He chose the chains. Someone named Berlin. Stan has no idea who she is, but he found her wedding ring in the shack lost and found, put it on, and it got stuck forever. Physically binding might be legally binding. His childhood poster of Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. 8-year-old Stanley drew a ring on the poster and made Sixer witness. Natalia, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce whatever those words are. Totally unsuspicious tourist from a country that no longer legally exists. She took Stanley's credit card and social security number while he was sleeping and still checks in on him via hidden cameras. Ah, love. Marilyn fake name is a reference to Ida, the owl lady from the Owl House, further proving the popular theory that one of Stan's ex-wives is Ida. Secret Shames reads as following. The time Wendy beat Stan in arm wrestling 3 times in a row, she never has to work overtime as long as she never tells a soul. The fact that no one came to his fake funeral except his mom and an IRS agent who whispered to the coffin, "This isn't over." The quick cash Stan made in 1975, posing for a Hunky Drifters catalog that wasn't as tasteful and classy as the job listing made it sound, was the baby mascot for the Fussy Boy brand diaper rash commercials, claims that was Ford. Writing his Duchess Approves erotic fan novel, The Duke's Temptations at Oglebottom Estate. Unreported crimes are as following. The time Stan hit Toby Determined with his car and just kept on driving. Illegally breeding wolves to create a super wolf. You should hear this thing howl. Why did I gulp at the end of it? Did you guys hear that? It was like a howl. I don't know if that picked up, but pretending to be a veteran to get a discount on Pez, then having to invent an entire fake war in a fake country to keep the ruse going. Stan still has a Remember Operation Enduring Excuse bumper sticker, and regularly updates the Wikipedia page for the People's Republic of Grunkle Stand. Shooting out the tires of the Mythbusters van after they exposed him for looking kinda doughy on tape. Selling his heart medication to children, claiming it was metal-flavored candy. Accidentally inhaling too much taxidermy glue. Blacking out and waking up to discover that he had somehow managed to rob himself. Still tracking down the lost loot buried by his arch-rival Glue Stan. Stan's failed products go as following. The Wishy Washy, a washing machine that somehow makes your clothes dirtier. The Counterfeit, a rubber band you attach to your kitchen counter to exercise while doing dishes. Injury toll 27. Welcome to Gravity Town, a cartoon show pitch which was unanimously rejected by every network for blatant Illuminati references. Flavored lottery tickets. Turns out that the kind of people who think they can win the lottery are the kind of people who ignore do not swallow instructions. Lawsuit toll 48. The Sad Sack, a burlap bag to cover your head so no one can see you randomly crying during the day, cheaper than therapy. A soda called the Drippy Stanley. Ingredients Pine Sol, wood glue, and expired suntan lotion. Seuss tasted it and now he can't remember the year 2000. Darkest thought is pin all my crimes on Seuss. Stan's lowest moments are that time he somehow got an F- on a history test, test, which teachers thought was mathematically impossible, Philbrick made him stand on the lawn for 2 days holding a sign that said, "Extra stand $3 or better offer." When 1998's best tourist traps in Oregon listed the Mystery Shack as 99 below the world's beigest fence and the dog that might be thinking human thoughts. His birthday the year before he met Dipper and Mabel. No one came to Mr. Mystery's mystery age party and used wolf pelt sale. He'd spent hours writing comedy roasts of employees who never came, burned off one of his eyebrows attempting to make a cake, and drank the night away skeet shooting Sixer's old Beethoven records. The day after he met the twins, he overheard them debating on whether or not they should escape out the window and report him to the FBI. Mabel shook a magic 8-ball and they stayed. Stripping for edible flower in Tijuana. Please don't make me elaborate. Clicking on how he beat me gives you the message he didn't, I'm still here, sucker. However, clicking on it repeatedly will reveal Bill's true insecurities. Look, the gambler got a lucky break, alright? A lifelong loser was due for one freak royal flush. What does it mean? Nothing. Less than nothing. Not worth even thinking about. What more do you want me to say? That a guy who once tried to eat the decorative potpourri out of the bowl in the bank outsmarted me? Please. Goofus was just following Gallant's lead. It was Sixer's plan. PTSD Barnum is just a side character. A resume-inflating, cheap trick-loving, past-denying, overgrown child protected from failure only by a force field of denial and shamelessness. Sixer ate Stanley's potential in the womb, and the only thing interesting that ever happened to him started when I entered his head. End of story, period. And I have nothing more to say about it. And another thing. I'm not even gonna try reading all that, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, I see what's happening here. You're just like those preachy, infantilizing automotons at the Theraprism who are so obsessed with getting me to talk about my feelings. You think you can get a rise out of me? Try. I dare you. Keep clicking. See what happens. I can outlast you, pal. Do you realize who you're stepping to here? I'm literally insane. Try it. Keep trying it. I've got forever. Let's go. Come on. Go. Keep clicking. Keep doing it. I love it. Is that all you got? Clicking on this 5 more times gives you... well, I'll just let this play out. Stanley Pines, the con-man clown, always dragged his family down. One mistake disowned, denied. Only thing to do was hide. One way out, the open road. Reinvent, retry, reload. A girdle, eye patch, father's fez. I'm a new man, so he says. Couldn't outrun life's regrets. Just kept placing bigger bets. Changed his haircut, switched hotels. Truth is just whatever sells. When you've lost track of your lies. When the poison starts to rise. When the walls are closing in. When it's clear you cannot win. When your actions make it worse. When they see you as a curse. Give the wheel one last spin. Take your chips and go all in. And lucky Stan, the roll's on black. He got his life and family back. His big break, it finally came. Redemption from a life of shame. You really think you won the day. You packed your bags and sailed away. You think you left the past behind. But trust me, I'm still on your mind. God damn, I didn't know Bill had such a way with words. Back to the computer! Gun or the gun gives you the response, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both, a reference to the song We Both Reached for the Gun from Chicago, a musical. This song happened to be very popular on websites like TikTok for edits and animatics at this website's release. Hectoring gives you the audio to the song Cipher is Real, a song mentioned in the Book of Bill.
Cipher is real, he's sinful and yellow. He's a triangle fella with mischief in mind.
You gotta admire Alex's dedication to world building. Hey Nerd gives you this Bill infomercial. History will give you one of 3 different responses. Geometry existed before the creation, from Plato. 3 is the magic number, from Schoolhouse Rock. I have received the... Wait, there are 4 responses, right? That's 1, and then there's that one, and then I have received a message from the universe, 1, 2, 3, Nikola Tesla. If the triangle is made by a god, they would give him 3 sides, Baron de Montesquieu. That's 4. I meant 4, my bad. Dude, I'm gonna get yelled at so much in the comments of this video, because I've been messing up like 50 times, and I'm at the point where I just don't care. I'm just gonna I'm fumbling through. I know you're gonna have fun with that, Austin, with how much I'm messing up. You're not gonna be able to do anything. You're gonna keep it all in. This is the real me. This is authentically me. Hologram gives you the text universe. Hot Xolotl gives you a wanted poster for the Henchmaniacs. How do I die? How will I die? Tell me how I die, and so on will give you a number from 1 to 23, referencing the 23 reasons as to how you will die written in the Book of Bill. Let's see what I get. 16. Here we go. 16. The person of your dreams will finally propose to you. You will gasp so hard that you inhale the ring and die on the spot. Person of my dream. Who's the person of my dreams? Wait. Victoria? Victoria Hayes from Terrifier? Is she gonna propose to me? Oh my god! Oh, I'm so excited. I see, they'll all see, and you'll see, give you the text, is seeing believing. I'm still on your mind, or on your mind plays a video of a boat, and Stan can be heard in the background. One of the frames glitches and contains a color code, a code that translates to, oh, little Billy wore Velcro until he was 16. He said shoelaces were fascist, but we really think he just couldn't figure out how to tie them. Irregular gives you Bill's mugshot, the text beneath translating to no prison or attention span can hold him. Is hell real? Is Satan real? And is the devil real? Gives you the text you're already here. Is there an afterlife? What happens after I die? And any similar question gives you the text, it feels the same as before you were born, remember? That wasn't so bad. Journal 1 gives you the text, the Journal of Fun. Journal 2 gives you the Journal for You. And Journal 3 gives you the Journal for Me. Just Blend In shows this image. Just Fit In gives you a video of a family playing Perfection, likely taken from an advertisement. A frame of this video contains a color code, sadly enough, translating to the lyrics to a lullaby. Rockabye Billy, please don't you cry. It's not your fault you have that strange eye. Stay safe with mommy, you'll never fall, and we'll always love you, sharp angles and all. If you want to listen to an actual musical rendition of this, my friends Milk in the Microwave and Axie made one that sounds super awesome, and I recommend watching it, and I love my friends, and hi! Hi! Guys, if either of you are watching, hi! Hi! Hello! You're my friends. Kings of New Jersey gives you another code cryptex, these being for Stan's code, a code consisting of strange symbols. Kook gives you this video. Kubrick plays the ending scene from The Shining, and also Bill is there now. Okay. Liar, liar, or liar, liar, and Austin, please put the text on the screen so people can see how it's spelled, is a part of the riddle and gives you the question, the 20th ingredient of an anti-ciphering tonic. Lies gives you this image and the text, in ancient times, truth was whatever most recently came out of a king or priest's mouth, and if you disagreed, your neck had a date with the guillotine. Did you know your head stays conscious 3 seconds after decapitation? Fun game, try to lick the basket. Life gives you the text, 72% complete, now loading, death. L is real, 2401 plays audio from Seuss singing 3 seconds of the Super Mario Bros. Theme. This is a reference to an infamous Super Mario 64 urban legend. Love Ya Bro shows this doodle with the code on the back reading, wanna keep notes from parents and cops? Here's a hint, Kings of New Jersey. This is how you get the code for the zip file. Typing in Mabel repeatedly will put stickers around the screen, and when you've inputted enough, you get the text lab now fully Mabelized. Mason, which is Deborah's real name, gives you this piece of paper. The anagrams are all characters from the show. Meow or meow wow redirects to this TikTok. Monster redirects to the Google search inquiry, there's a monster at the end of this book. Morality gives you this image. Mountain Don't is a part of the riddle and gives you the text what's a medieval homonym. Mystery gives you a question mark. Mystery Shack redirects to Confusion Hill on Google. Night Suif, which is Faustian backwards, gives you this image. TLDR, Bill asks you to sell your soul and you can either accept or be a coward. Being a coward plays the Price is Right meme trumpet sound thingy, you know, the bow, 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 bow. That was probably not like an impression of it. And choosing to sign gives you the text pleasure doing business with you. After this, the flame on the candle atop the desktop will turn blue, and you can turn the knob on the computer to get some backwards messages that are pretty creepy. These messages reversed read out, "Someone help! The murderer's name is Bill, and the sky's on fire. Everything is burning. How could this happen? You killed them all. Remember us." No gives you the text your loss. Not a phase opens black hair dye stained entire bathroom on Google. Nothing gives you something. Ocuros iterum? I don't know, it's probably some gay Latin thing. Gives you this image advertising the Scream Tube. Oh yes, they both gives you the text reached for, once again, another reference to Chicago. One-Eyed King gives you a video of Bill chanting, "You want to pledge your soul to Bill Cipher," while Morse code that translates to the Natsuif code that allows you to give Bill your soul plays in the background. Afterwards, Bill will say, "It's starting to work, isn't it? Nice free will you got there." Ouroboros gives you Lost Journal 3 pages, reading, "F arrived late to the lab today, grinning mischievously with a fish tank sloshing under his arm. He insisted I look inside, and when I did I found myself face to face with the beaming smile of a curious pale salamander with a pink frilled neck. It looked like a... what does that say? A rigatoni? Looked like a rigatoni with a smiley face, and its little arms wiggled as it drifted in lazy circles. F explained it was an axolotl, a rare amphibian that, in Aztec myth, symbolizes rebirth. You can chop off their arms and they'll grow right back. What a trick, to be wounded but leave no scars. F said its frills reminded him of my sideburns and he thought it could keep me company the next time he's out. Don't I get lonely, passing ancient tomes all alone in my study? I bit my tongue. If F knew about my muse, he'd likely be giving me a different gift. A car ride to the insane Asloom. I thanked F anyway and put the tank in my office, naming my new pet Frillium. As a creature with odd lives myself, I was tickled by the new guest. Goodbye, Frillium. My muse was less enthused about Frillium than I. With the portal so close to completion, he strangely felt I should avoid any distractions, no matter how small. He even questioned whether I was taking our mission seriously. Maybe someone else should be his spectacle for divine wisdom. Did I know Stephen Hawking's number? In a panic, I assured him that I would get rid of Frillium at once. Who am I to argue with a divine being of infinite wisdom? He always knows best. My muse's reaction to the axolotl was almost repulsion, like an elephant scared of a mouse. I released Frillium into the creek, leading to the hot springs behind the lab, hopefully to swim off to a brighter future. As I let him go, he turned back with a look in his eyes of sympathy. I had a strange, bittersweet sense of an opportunity lost, the gears of late turning, and then he was gone. Owl Trowel gives you an image of an ancient hieroglyph. Pacifica gives you a note from Pacifica to Mabel, reading, "Ew, you want an autograph? Like, what am I even supposed to write to a stranger? Sorry you're not me. Pacifica, this is to warn whoever finds this book, not to make a deal with Bill. Remember? The pointy jerk who made you dress in a potato sack? Ugh, fine. Listen, anonymous dork, everyone knows that Triangle Goblin or whatever is a massive psycho who gives me the ick. His dumb little catchphrases are honestly embarrassing. And how much do you want to bet he practices those intros in the mirror? Try hard much? If you're looking for someone to worship so bad, I'm like right here. Follow me on Platinum Paths for makeup and quail hunting tutorials if you're cool enough. I know my parents had a bunch of tapestries and junk with that triangle on them, but me and a friend threw all of those off to my yacht into the lake. Which friend? Doesn't matter. Why are you so obsessed with me? Stay jealous. Pacifica Northwest. Paper is Bookskin gives you a zip file for a PSD file that gives you some gross paper textures. Peak redirects to Gravity Falls on DVD on Google search. So true. Pinata gives you this beautiful video.
Ow! 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 God damn it, why?
Pines gives you the text A Good Family Tree. Platinum Paz, a code from Pacifica's Note, gives you a short story about Pacifica and Bill. It's too long to read in this video, so I'd recommend giving it a read for yourself. Portal gives you the text Portal.exe has been deleted. I bet you could build a new one. Question gives you answer. Reality gives you is an illusion. Reality spelt with a 3 and a 4 gives you photos of the henchmaniac's current whereabouts. Riddle gives you would you like to play a game? Answering yes will give you what's McGucket's favorite soda, and from there on you will, do the riddle and it will lead you to the zip file of wallpapers. Robbie gives you a chain of text between Thompson and Robbie and an image of them being chased by Bill. Rubber Hose gives you a video of this visualizer with the world is small ever after for always playing in the background, a pretty obvious reference to It's a Small World after all. Scary, Spook 'em Up, Spooks, and Spooky gives you this image and an audiobook excerpt read by Neil Ciceriga. Scientology gives you the text Suppressive Person Detected. Season 1 and -1 gives you the text Season -1 Anti-Gravity Falls. Season 2 gives you Season 1, and Season 3 gives you Season 2. Seven Eyes gives you an image of the Oracle with the text Leave him, escape to dimension blank. It's against the rules, but it's the one reality where you may be safe from him. A code is written underneath it, which when translated, reads set chords to dimension R34ality. Reality. Whatever, Several times gives you the text love you fool /dog/beef or several times love you girl. Shave your grandma gives you these images. Skeleton gives you the text the one with the sword, he found you. Something gives you nothing. Seuss gives you a note of what Seuss has been up to. I would read it, but I don't wanna. Sorry shows an image of McGucket and Ford in college. The back reading, hoo-wee. First week of higher learning. Never been this far from Pa's farm, but the goat chewing up my BMU dorm mattress made me right at home. I was mighty nervous to be the first McGucket ever to go to college. On my first day, I got the hiccups. The school mascot, the BMU-B- shoved me in a locker, and I got my mustache caught in a pencil sharpener. If that weren't bad enough, I wrote an equation proving that the entire universe was in fact a giant hologram. I was laughed out of class, humiliated. I must have gotten my math wrong. While I was drying my tears in my dorm arranging a tractor to pick me up, my roommate, a freshman from New Jersey, barged in like he owned the place and dropped off his bags. He confidently declared that my theory was plausible and that he would not sleep until we proved it was accurate. 9 hours and a single cup of coffee later, don't tell grandma, and we cracked it. Proof of the McGucket-Pines hologram conjecture. Not sure what the implications are for the universe, but I know that today I did something I once thought more impossible than solving relativity. I almost said reality. Sorry. I made a friend. Excited for more adventures. Fiddleford. P.S. Apparently this fella has 6 fingers. Might need new specs. I never noticed. Stod et Tekenok. What? Which is connect the dots backwards, gives you a 12 whole pages about lesser-known cults in America. Suck It Merlin shows a tapestry of Bill, one which I really want, goddammit. The code at the top translates to Daymare versus Nightmare. The bastard triangle cuts the unicorn's hair. Artist unknown, $14.99. Tad Strange displays a video of bread being cut with jazz music playing. Goddamn, what a mood. I love bread! I'm actually eating bread while typing this. I have bread and French brie, it's delicious. Do you guys want some? I don't have bread anymore. That was while I was typing it, not recording. Oh, I should get some bread, though. I do want some bread. Tantrum gives you this image. The Universe and Universe give you hologram. Theraprism gives you this image. Reading in case of the old one, do not use elevators. Tinsel Snake gives you the text, the 6th option on Bill's editing software, which is a part of the riddle. Titan's Blood gives you the text, hoot hoot, password please, an obvious reference to the Owl House. TJ Eckelberg gives you the text, never mention that name again. Toby Determined redirects to the Google search restraining order. Torture Mentally gives you the text, name an unpronounceable wizard, which is a part of the riddle. The rizzle? God, I meant the riddle. That's the worst one I've done yet, bro. Taurus Trap shows you this pamphlet for the Caves of Mystery. Triangle gives you the text, try harder. Union Maid gives you the text, Bill's gov file number. Government, which is a part of the riddle. Unreality gives you a message from Bill explaining dreams, how to achieve immortality, and tells the reader to wake up from reality into fiction. Virus opens a PDF titled The Plague that I'm not reading. Waddles redirects to www.pigplacementnetwork.org. Weird gives you this video of Weird Al Yankovic.
How did I get inside this computer? How do I get out of here? Bill! Bill! Let me out! Bill!
I used to have a Twitter mutual named, like, Weird Val, because they were, like, Weird Al's distant cousin or something. I don't use Twitter anymore, but I still remember them. Weird Val, if you're watching this, what's good? Say hi to, Say hi to Weird Al for me. Weird Mageddon gives you this image. Well-Being gives you Patient File Bill Cipher. Greatest Love himself. Greatest Fear himself. Clicking Again gives you Art Therapy Notes. All he draws are red and blue triangles. Clicking Again gives you Patient's Odd Phobias. 3D Glasses, Venetian Blinds, and TV Static. Wendy gives you this image. What up, Cursed Book? I've got a totally legit way to ward off evil triangles, and I wrote it in the bottom right corner of the book. It's totally worth it, I promise. Stay cool, dork. Wendy. Which religion is right gives you Cyphertology. The IRS won't tax us because they're cowards. Who are you gives you I could ask the same question. XGQRTHX gives you where do triangles come from, which is a part of the riddle. You can't kill an idea gives you this pamphlet. And last but not least, typing you're insane into the computer will give you the response, sure I am, what's your point? I'm done! I'm free! I can finally run back to my family in the hills and feed my dearest children. Oh great, there's no more to talk about. Okay. Right. There's a code I left out on purpose because I wanted to talk about it last. Vita Carnitas. It means Valley of Ashes in Latin. Inputting this into the computer will give you this video of Bill as a baby, being held lovingly by his mother and father. A voice can be heard softly saying, "Why did you do it?" repeatedly.
Why did you do it? Why did you do it?
This, along with Bill's fear of 3D glasses, they're red and blue, Bill drunkenly talking to his mother, the lullaby we heard earlier addressed towards Bill, the fact that Bill refuses to talk about the destruction of his universe, refuses to talk about his parents, it all tells us one thing. Bill was loved. He was loved by his parents, and it's very likely that he loved them too. This is probably the most sympathetic Bill's character is ever going to get, as while this is a very relatable and soft part of his character, we also need to keep in mind who exactly this character is. He's a being of chaos, a master manipulator. Just because he has a soft side, it doesn't mean that he is good by any means. Bill is a very complex character, and the whole point of this entire website, this entire book, is to add more to his character that we didn't get to see in the show. Bill loved his parents, but he killed them. He killed his entire home just because he's implied to have been defected, what with his strange eye and ability to see the third dimension. He was likely outcasted because of this. He later found companions in the Henchmaniacs, and he had to find a home for the only friends he ever had or they would all disappear. Bill's relationship with Ford is also something that the Book of Bill and the website relating to it puts a very heavy emphasis on, as it is incredibly important to Bill's character. While I have so many thoughts on their relationship and every single aspect of it, I also don't want to clog this video with 30 minutes of me ranting about how complex the relationship between these two characters is, because, believe me, I could go on and on. If this video sees some success, and if any of you are interested, I'll make a shorter follow-up video explaining their relationship in depth, as well as just explaining why I love it so much. Yes, I know, funny, toxic, divorced yaoi, but there's also a genuine reason as to why this relationship is so compelling other than just fans going, wait, did they hate him? Which, like, yeah, they did, but that's not important to this discussion, okay? So, all in all, what did the Book of Bill truly give us? Is this all leading up to another Cipher Hunt? Are we getting another season? Obviously, I don't know for certain, but I am pretty positive that the answer to both is no. Of course, something the size of Cipher Hunt could definitely be possible again if there is still more for Alex to give, but I feel the website is still just as engaging of a way to release new stuff, unless there's something super massive to be found in the physical world. As for Season 3, Alex has made it clear many times that there will never be a Season 3 of Gravity Falls. This doesn't mean that there won't be some shorts and promotions released from time to time, but as far as producing seasons with Disney goes, Alex has clearly stated his disinterest. I don't know why this is such a prominent rumor whenever Alex starts doing anything at all, so hey, let's all work together to dispel this rumor once and for all. If I really wanted to, I could go over every little code that's hidden within the Book of Bill, explain everything in detail, but I've already dove deeper into the website than I needed to. I'm sure you viewers at home didn't need to hear me read out every single code. I'm trying not to waste your time as much with my videos because I know I do that so often. The point is, I don't need to go into every little code to prove the point of this video. The point of this video is that Gravity Falls perfected the ARG, and this is a point I'm going to stand by likely forever. I genuinely can't think of any ARG that has ever been this engaging and fun. Communities all around the world bonding together, sharing an interest in a silly cartoon, to the point where they're willing to stay overnight at a stranger's house or lose sleep for days. This is what a community effort should be, and while of course I don't expect every single ARG to follow in its footsteps precisely, every ARG should still have the same amount of love and care put into it. There will be a lot of things that I missed in this video, and that's okay. It's fun to go out and find stuff for yourself. I found so much stuff I didn't even know while I was researching for this video, and truthfully, I really did think I knew it all. If you made it this far into the video, go ahead and tell me what you've been doing in the background while you've had this on. Maybe you're drawing something super cool, and as always, you know I'm gonna be nosy about it. Show me what you made. Draw me next. Unfortunately, I think that's all the time I have, because I actually have a reason to get this video out as soon as possible. Please be sure to check the description and my community tab for more information on our charity event. Unless you're watching in the future, well, where the event is already over. And in that case, can you, like, tell me in the comments if it was a success? Did it do really well? Did it raise $1 bazillion? Did I seem happy? Do I seem happy? My channel's still around. Did I delete every video? I might have deleted all the videos. I'm sorry. You might want to archive this while it's still here. You might want to go archive all of my videos, actually. You never know. You never know. Take up all the space on your computer, on your cars, on your phone, whatever. Thank you so much for the support. Sorry this video's been kind of rushed out, but this year I will try my absolute hardest to give you guys the incredibly underwhelming content you deserve. This was supposed to come out last October. I'm sorry, I'm just so sad all the time. Oh, I'm gonna go leave and cry for a whole day uninterrupted. Say nice things to me and maybe I'll come back.
So many questions.